Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has is 5 phase, Ishana Murti has is 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nityananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nityananda Paramashiva, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Nityananda Jnana Paddhati for the powerful cognition of depth, powerful cognition for manifesting the power of depth, Bhagavan Satsang on Bhagavad Gita decoded.
O descendant of Bharata, having destroyed with the sword of your essential nature this irresoluteness that is born and is cherished in the heart due to non-understanding, stand up and gain superiority through intense action. I tell you, whenever you are in confusion, the best way to get out of confusion is start doing intense action. Start creating. Take the decision which expands your consciousness even though it pains. When I took this responsibility of Madurai Adinam, even people who are around me, they said, "Oh God, Swamiji, do you know, it's a huge work." And many of our devotees, "Swamiji, do you know what you are getting into? There will be so much of opposition, all that." I told them in one word, always decide for fulfilling what you stand for. I know for sure this seat, the seat of Madurai Adinam, will really help me to fulfill my mission of making human beings living enlightenment, making human beings experience enlightenment, raised consciousness, for teaching the spirituality. I know for sure this pita, this throne, this seat will be a very powerful help. That is the reason I took up this responsibility. Whenever you are in confusion, dilemma, take up responsibilities. Go on expanding. I know this responsibility is not a piece of cake for me. It was pieces of cake for me. I have to gather everything together to put it together. If it is piece of cake, you can eat. If it is pieces of cake, first you have to assemble to make a cake out of it. But I tell you, life is a play. Life is a joy. You don't know how heavy it feels, all these Rudrakshas. But that's the way life is. That is the way life is. I'm wearing at least 4 to 5 kg weight on me. Tasmadanyana sambhutam hridstam jnanasina atmanaha chitvainam samsayam yogam attishta uttishta bharata. O descendant of Bharata, having destroyed with the sword of your essential nature this irresoluteness that is born and is cherished in the heart due to non-understanding, stand up and gain superiority through intense action. I tell you, the power of hard work, not smart work, power of hard work. 2 days before, I gave you all one homework. I spoke on the spontaneous readiness for intense action one day. I told all of you to pen down that day satsang in your book of art with your handwriting. So I went to our website and saw the transcript which you are supposed to pen down in your notebook. I had little time. So in all this, amidst this war, so I thought, why not me also pen down? Of course, I did not get a paper and pen, but I took up my iPad and started typing. I kept that in one screen, in another one I had 2 iPad. Another one iPad, I started typing. I tell you, really I tell you, I don't know how you will understand. I understood my own discourse more deeply when I typed. No, you understand whatever way you want, I don't want to interpret on that. But when I typed, I said, oh God, did I say it? It's my discourse, transcribed, faithfully, using the video record. When I myself was typing it again, I was shocked, but I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the whole experience. Because when I was typing it once more, I saw very clearly, point by point, like a system, the whole truth is evolving. See, to tell you honestly, when I sit here, all I do is I connect with the whole group of disciples sitting all over the world. And I say, all right, whatever they need, let it come out. It comes out. That day I myself got a chance to relook at whatever I said. Then I thought, oh God, what a gift to a seeker. Because very systematically the whole truth is presented. It was a discourse on samshayatma vinashyati. And of course, I have spoken on readiness for intense action, spontaneous readiness for intense action. About that also I have given an introduction. Hard work has its own strength. Hard work in hostile situation makes you a leader. I used to tell, People ask me, how did you spread spirituality all over the world? How did so many thousands are inspired by you? I used to tell them, you see, if somebody is able to drive in Calcutta, he can get international license immediately. He can drive anywhere in the world. That's the worst traffic. Actually, if you walk on the banners, you will reach the place more earlier than sitting in the taxi. In Calcutta, if traffic jam happens, you are supposed to reach Howrah station or the airport. The best thing you can do is get out of your taxi, walk on the banners. Just from one car to another car. Start walking on one car to another car. That's the best way and easiest way you will reach your destination. If you are sitting inside your taxi, cab and expecting that you will reach the place little late, forget about it. The worst traffic I have ever seen on the planet Earth, or I can say in the cosmos, is Calcutta traffic. God. I don't speak about Calcutta because the moment I speak about Calcutta, it pulls me like Kailash. The place where Sri Ramakrishna lived. Whatever Sampradaya I may represent sometime Shankara Sampradaya when I speak Brahma Sutras. When I sit in the Madhurayadinam, I may represent Jnana Sambandha Sampradaya. For my disciples, they may perceive me as representing Nityananda Sampradaya. Whatever Sampradayas I may represent in different times. But when I am all by myself, I represent Ramakrishna Sampradaya. Because Ramakrishna is irremovable component of my being. Still, when I try to find a spiritual solution for any issue, in my book of heart, I turn to Ramakrishna only. See, in my book of art, I have millions of solutions. Still, for me to have a solution, I turn to Ramakrishna only. Millions may turn to me, but I myself turn to Ramakrishna only. If I start the word Calcutta, I know I'll get into Ramakrishna and will not come back to Sri Krishna. That is why I don't touch Calcutta. Anyhow, just like Calcutta's traffic, if you are able to drive in Calcutta, you can drive anywhere in the world. Same way, if you can inspire Tamilians, you can inspire anybody in the world. I have inspired Tamilians. I did hard work my first 10 years of my mission. You see, the beginning of your mission only you set your standards. How many hours you are going to work, how you are going to work, what kind of methods you are going to reach out, you are going to use to reach out your message to people. All that is standardized, set as a trend only in the first 10 years. The first 10 years, I worked hard in the worst hostile situations. I tell you, I have polished myself like diamond polishing, like diamond cutting. I have cut myself. Now I know for sure I'll be successful anywhere. I can inspire any human being. Manu very beautifully describes the period of brahmacharya, the period of learning should be in a place where intense hostility is there. Because when the situation around you is hostile, your swadhisthana cannot sleep. It will be so wide, open, widely available, aware of looking at everything, And everybody, without resting into peace, it will imbibe more and more things. It's like before going for feast, you take some appetizer so that your stomach is open for swallowing everything. I tell you, I worked in the most hostile group of people. How everybody perceives everything. The word Nityananda is such a vibrant word. Nobody wants to miss it. No media wants to publish their version without the word Nityananda, whether it's a TV media or a visual media or a print media or a radio or weekly or monthly. They don't want to miss the name Nityananda in the front page. It's almost like before we write like Om, Shubha, Shivaya Nama, like that. Media uses the word Nityananda. I tell you, I worked in such a horrible, most hostile atmosphere and situation. That is why I am telling you, I'll revive Vedic tradition. Because I have polished my instrument, my weapon, my intelligence, using the most hostile.
Bhagwan beautifully said how he himself did the homework of writing the satsang again, and he learned all the skills by hard work, sheer hard work in the most hostile situations. Now we'll go to the Shastra Pramana.
Is taken from the Shiva Sutras, verse 1.16. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi.
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16, Bhagavan Paramashiva says, fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being, that's all that exists in Paramashiva, the pure essence, and attaining and uniting that pure essence and existential reality, Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva inside power, infinite power, sorry. So beautiful, Bhagwan said how when he wrote the satsang in his iPad, from one iPad to another one, how he understood more depth of it. Each time we listen to his satsang, the deeper and deeper layer are revealed to us. The levels go by how many times you receive it, and deeper essence starts happening in us. Bhagavan beautifully said, by hard work, sheer hard work, in most hostile situation, I worked to gain the understanding and to gain the knowledge to revive the Hinduism. His responsibilism, his authenticity, his integrity, and enriching the whole world is beautifully shown in just a small satsang. How he kept on being authentic to the details that he himself is doing the homework that he gave to get to the deeper truth of what it is. And he says the hard works only when you have the hostile situation, which most of us all the time go through all the hostile situation in family, in finance, in all kinds of things, creating more chaos and more problems for us and others. And in that, holding that space and doing the hard work to revive the highest reality, the Paramashiva space in us, is very important. How the tyaga that he does, he has explained for us to start living that truth. With this Shastra Pramana, let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the Rishis and Munis and Nayanamars, Alvars who have time tested and verified the science of power manifestation. Depth, dimension, rotating the object. This is from Srimad Bhagavata, Canto 8, Chapter 7. Lord Vishnu takes the Kurma avatar to balance the Mandara Parva for the churning of the milky ocean. Vasuki forms the rope around the Mandara Parva, the Devatas on one side, the Asuras the other side, begin the churning of the ocean to attain the Amrita. So beautifully, the Shiva who holds the Meru, it becomes the main churning staff, and the Vasuki which Krishna has, Vishnu has, that becomes the rope for churning the Meru. And Meru is taken care by Vishnu, and Vasuki, the poison, is taken care by Shiva. Bhagavan beautifully narrates about the churning of the Milky Ocean, rotating the object to get the Amrita of eternity. So beautifully is narrated here. Let's go to the Atma Pramana, Bhagavan's Leela of playing the different dimension and manifesting the powers of Paramashiva.
Experience, love current. He laughed and said, Advaita will only strengthen the love current. Advaita only will strengthen the bhakti. Listen. This is, you can see now, this is exactly the spot he was sitting, and I was sitting with him and talking. The oneness. Please understand, the practice of oneness. I'll give you some of the deep, important insiders' secrets. What takes away oneness from you is not able to cope up with the reality as it is. You always feel more colorfulness is needed than the reality you experience. Because you feel hope makes life function in you. So constantly you feel much more than what you perceive is required to keep you alive, so that need for the hope, the idea, you need something more to move on. That is why even as a child you need fairy tales. Please listen. From the beginning you feel something more is required. Only then I can move on. So life moves only with the idea something more is required. So you go on projecting that something more which you feel required, either as quality requirement or quantity requirement. Either you feel you need more money, only then life will be great, more cars, more houses, then you become materialistic. Or if you think better quality, better way of loving, giving, respecting, serving, then you become a spiritualist. Whether it is a quantity requirement or quality requirement, the moment you have the idea something more is required for you to experience completion and fulfillment, that is the first delusion. Understand? Because it has gone to the biomemory level, you can't directly wipe that out from inside you. It has become a part of you that always building up which is not there, cooking up which is not there, hoping for which is not there, go on faking which is not there, with the hope it will happen or it has already happened. Listen, I am breaking one of the important part. This hope and building up, even while you talk, you just see, just sit and speak for half an hour, 1 hour with any of the known people in your life, friends or family, with whoever. Then after that, just observe that 1 hour conversation and study in how many places you exaggerated either that person or you, or about any subject you are talking. If you are convinced that something is great or somebody is great, you just go on exaggerating, which is not existentially experienced to you.
So beautiful. Bhagavan said how things are not existentially experienced to you, how we live and how he lives in the pure conscious space. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Millions of disciple devotees all over the world are being initiated into the power of depth dimension rotating the object. Now they are demonstrating this power.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
That is great. That is great. See, it's a very important share.
So beautifully, we saw the bottle cap is rotating, right side, left side, all the sides, so beautifully demonstrating the power of depth dimension. Now, let's go to the instruction for manifesting the powers and Pratyaksha Pramana.
Shastra Pramana, scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nityananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is the very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see it got to be one? If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is a oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. What should we call this oneness?
Whole brain activation studies were done on Nityananda Gurukul students. The Bender-Gestalt test assesses the level of whole brain activation, the student's ability to see the big picture and recall the details of it. It is more than an IQ test. It was showing outstanding results on the memory ability of the Gurukul students. It is very unusual for students to remember such a high number of Gestalt forms. Each Gurukul student attended to the test card carefully and persistently transposed the Gestalt form. Remaining calm, cool, and collected, they initially approached each Gestalt form with a keen observation and analysis of the form, and then exhibited a steady perseverance, attending 8-minute details. Source Avatar Shastra, Chapter 8, Third Eye Awakening, page 177. Charting Future Terrain with Higher Education. This article explores the role of contemplative practices within an emerging interdisciplinary area that are referred to as creativity and consciousness studies. Within the new area, consciousness is studied from an integral perspective that brings together insights from a range of wisdom traditions and modern science. Meditation is presented as an essential first-person modality for investigating consciousness, and formal and non-formal approaches to meditation and delineated to establish important guidelines for the introduction of meditation into an academic setting. The role of first-person experience helps to develop new notions of rigor and interdisciplinary learning that can lead to an expanded educational experience, which can help to develop qualities such as mental clarity, inner calm, insights, compassion, and creativity. The article closes with reflections on the importance of expanding our approach to education in light of the demanding challenges and creative opportunities in today's world. Source: Meditation, Creativity, and Consciousness. Power of depth dimension. Rotating the object. Setting up. For the setting up process, you will need a phone camera with a timestamp. Nanjana, this is optional. And any simple object with stable base, such as a bottle or a cap. Take a few moments to set up your camera. Number 1, download the timestamp app. Number 2, click on video. Number 3, ensure that time is shown on screen. And number 4, make sure the camera is facing you. Please take few minutes to set it up. Now the guidelines. For setup, number 1, place a piece of paper in front of you and tape down the sides. Number 2, place the object, exclude any spherical ones, on the paper and mark a spot on the base of the object and a dot on the page in the same location as the dot on the object. Number 3, set up your camera to be focused on the object for the entire duration of the manifestation. Start. Number 4, turn on the video recording with timestamp. Number 5, apply Ananjana between your brows if you have. Next, bring your awareness between your brow center and gently focus while connecting to Paramashiva. Number 6, keep your attention fully on the object in front of you without touching it and drop any expectations of results. Number 7, sit unclutched for 21 minutes during the Mahavakya chanting. Number 8, manifest rotating the object without touching it. Number 9, after the Mahavakya subsides, verify how much the object has rotated beyond the outline. Number 10, ensure that you have captured the object's rotation on camera. Number 11, with the object in view at all times, slowly bring the camera close to the object. Take your ruler and measure from the starting and ending position of the object. Number 12, manifestation range of outcomes. Any movement away from the starting position is a manifestation. Number 13, after you have recorded the movement, you can turn off your camera. And number 14, celebrate with gratitude your manifestation of moving the object. Next, we will listen to these spiritual instructions.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will See in Bhagwan's words, what is Shakti Pada?
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence. The Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me, why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminders. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shared form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space. Means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is You are not catching it. Just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nityananda. Nityananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nityananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process. Please ensure to thoroughly verify the following. Verify that the time and date stamp appear on your video. Second step, verify that your video has a wide-angle horizontal view and has a full view of the object at all times. Number 3, verify that your video recording is continuous without stopping and restarting during the manifestation process. Step number 4, verify that you have not edited your video in any way and that the camera has not moved during the manifestation process. Step number 5, but during the verification process, you will need to reposition the camera to capture the movement of the object. Number 6, video verification of the object's movement or rotation. Number 7, now that the verification process is complete, the next instructions will guide you how to upload and share your video. Thank you so much for your participation.
We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Parameshivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nityananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nityananda.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham